Yeah, so I don't have like a normal way to start this video, so I'm just gonna try a bunch of different hot sauces on wings. Habanero black cherry hot sauce. It tastes like hot sauce with a hint of something that really shouldn't be in there. Like a maggot fell into the mixing bowl. Another habanero. Very XXX hot sauce. It is not very hot. Blues Hog wild wing sauce, and it's gluten-free, so that's awesome.
That's a mighty fine wing. That's a mighty fine sauce.
Another habanero peach bourbon hot sauce. Two things that don't belong with hot sauce. Actually, it's probably just peach. They probably just throw bourbon in there because as a man, it makes me pre-cum a little bit. My last one is Melinda's ghost pepper wing sauce. Oh, oh, wait, never mind. It was made on my birthday. That is so cute. What? I see some swagalicious cartilage. Oh, that's motherfucker. Oh, my lips are on fire, dude. Okay. Let's get this show on the road. Okay, so I didn't plan on doing this, but the last video popped off and nice. Anyway, after the wooden sword, my microcephalic head thought I had done it all. There were no more possible challenges to do. I was doomed, I was over, and I would never create again. This is the end of Kingdom Come Deliverance. I don't even want to look at it anymore. I'm not. Wait a minute. Hey guys. I have another idea. This is a good one. There are so many buttons in Kingdom Come Deliverance, and I use all of them rarely. Want to use a sword? Give up on slash attacks. Want to use a mace? Give up on stab attacks. Want to use an axe? Give up. Don't want to grind? Give up on strength. Don't want to listen? Give up on speech. Don't want to move? Give up on vitality. There are so many buttons. You give up on each new run you do, so why have access to all of them? I look at my keyboard and I think... I think... It hurts. It stings. I don't like it. I don't want it. Can I beat Kingdom Come Deliverance with only a mouse?
Okay, buddy, but is there a
Of course there's a gimmick, you fucking moron. Unlike you, viewer, using your Razer boom slang, I'm using the Razer Basilisk Ultimate, which has 13 buttons total. Left click, right click, mouse middle left, mouse middle right, scroll up, scroll down, mouse 4, mouse 5, sensitivity up, sensitivity down, sensitivity clutch, and cycle up profile. I'm still not too sure what those last two buttons do. But the cycle up profile button is on the bottom of the mouse, and the sensitivity clutch is covered by a rubber protector. And even when I take it off, it's like that button on your phone that does, I don't remember what, and you need like a special key to get at it. It's on the top. Look at the top of your phone right now. I can probably make use of the cycle up profile button. It just needs to be something wildly unimportant. I still have wings in front of me, just so y'all know. So the first step is obviously to set up my controls. Let's take a look at what I need. I need to be able to move forward, interact, and pause. Those are pretty important, like baseline necessities. Now let's look at things that I really want. I'd like to access my inventory, I'd like to attack, and I'd like to mount my horse. Sprinting would be cool, and so would unsheathing my weapon, which by association means I'd want to parry. I think jumping might come in useful, and so would the secondary action button, the button you use to pickpocket, lockpick, all that good stuff, which leaves us with one button left. Just to make things easier for me, let's assign weighting to that. And that gives us this beautiful control scheme. Wow. Innovation, evolution, science. As a show of good faith to you and the challenge, I unplugged my keyboard. And then plugged it right back in. I leave myself editing notes in the console commands, okay? Leave me alone. I'm gonna take a bite of one of these wings. It wasn't horrible going through scallops, but it was obvious that this was going to be a real challenge. I told Kunesh that he was a very naughty boy, and went to get my sword training done. I can only move forward, so I kept tiptoeing at him in as menacing a way as I possibly could. And this is where we run into our first problem. The game tells us that we can move left and right during combat, and it does not want us to forget that. Now that I think about this during editing, I don't think the training is required, but in the end, we should probably have the ability to move in more than one direction. So I edit my mouse bindings, and yes, I am allowing myself to edit those, but only while I'm in Scallots. So I give myself the ability to move right. I don't remember exactly what I swapped it for, but that doesn't matter right now. Trust me.
Oh no.
Now, the thing about the chase is I can only move forward and right, and these roads are anything but straight, so to move even just a little left, I gotta make a full rotation. I made it kinda far in my first try, but every try after that, I barely made it anywhere. And after maybe my 4th or 5th try, I had to go to work. But while I was away, I had somewhat of an epiphany. I thought, maybe I'm thinking too much about what I can do with my mouse, and not considering what I can get away with my mouse. So, I made a new mouse binding and created a new save. By the end of this Scallots run, there were a few changes, but in the end, this is what my mouse bindings looked like. We got primary and secondary attacks, definitely an upgrade. We can move forward, backwards, left and right, awesome. Pause, inventory, jump, sprint, and interact makes sense. And lastly, we got mounting and waiting. Seeing how we got rid of our parry and unsheath buttons, that leaves us to do an unarmed only run. Well, almost an unarmed only run. We can still use weapons, we just can't choose when. So if the game decides we need to use a weapon, it'll equip one for us, and we'll just use that. This also leaves us without a secondary action button, so hope that doesn't bite us in the ass later on. Beat up Kunesh, sword fighting, throwing, whatever. I was able to ride a horse well. I just had to two-hand my mouse. It's weird.
Oops.
I can't think of anything special that happened in Talmberg, but I got to use my precious wait button for one of the maybe 5 times it'll be used in this game. I did not let my spirit tell Lady Stephanie about Scallots. We all know she only wants to hear about it to make a Facebook post about it anyway. I made a point to grab the torch from my room, as if I'll ever be able to use it, tediously boxed my way through Scallots, dug up some treasure that now just brings up bad memories, finally realized that this wasn't Henry unable to do this mentally, he's genuinely just too weak to move his parents' bodies, which is even more sad, and this was the first time I died in the dream sequence, which was embarrassing. During my training with Bernard, we ran into another problem. See, Vaniac in Scallots doesn't require us to learn how to block, but Bernard does. So here's what I did. I changed my wait button to the block parry button. I loaded my save before training, finished training, and then I loaded back to Talmberg, and I made it right. When I loaded back to Ratai, I continued to archery training, which led us to another problem. We didn't give ourselves a button to unsheath her sword, so we definitely didn't give ourselves a button to equip a bow. And actually, I lied, that wasn't a problem because I just had to wait a few seconds. And during the archery contest, the game did equip the bow for me, so I still got to beat Capon's ass again. And again. And again. I took Teresa out for a date, but the heartbeat in-game was fucking with the haptic feedback of my music, and it just gave me a headache. Also, Teresa's mean. As is tradition, I went to the bathhouse to make Henry's look fit the challenge. I'm not really sure what it is, but he just looks not all there, you know? Plus, I don't know what happened here, but Bald Henry does not look as disgusting as he did in the last playthrough. So I met with Capon, and as you know, I can't hunt, but I also can't wait. So I stood around for 15 minutes. When Capon finally went hunting, I slept for as long as I could, and spent the rest of the time picking flowers and mushrooms, which did quite a bit for my herbalism stat. I managed to get lost looking for Capon, which ironically never happens when I play hardcore mode. I totally saved Capon on my first try, but he was too busy manspreading to the max to talk to me. And I beat one of the Cumans so badly into submission that he gave me that sweet, sweet gloopy splurgy, and then proceeded to pass out. Bernard Neuhoff horse, who cares? I couldn't fight even one bandit, not for having low strength, but on account of the fact that everyone seems to be a dodging master when I need them to stand still. And this light armor perk is hokey. I get hit all the time, and I'm a master gamer. I did my utmost to show Ginger what he really meant to me, but to no avail. Oh my! I took a little break because I really wanted to fight Milan. In all honesty, I just needed a small ego boost at this point. I was famished, so I bought a bunch of milk because... you wouldn't understand. I fought Ringlet and stole his money because he's mean. I fought Stefan and stole a quarter of his money because he's nice. I wasn't relieved beating Ringlet up once, so I did it again. And when I beat Milan, I gave him a tip for being a good sport about it all. I tried to take Teresa out on another date, but she couldn't even wait for me to open a door for myself. What a fucking bitch. I still took her on a date, albeit somewhat begrudgingly, and some dude tried to assault her, and I, for some fucking reason, decided to get involved. I fought for myself, okay, not for her. For all I care, he could have taken her and... Those last two were real. Guys, I've done it. I found the first and only person to have won Duck Duck Goose.
Must eat.
So fucking real.
I had sex, by the way.
I needed to waste time to let Riki get mauled, and what better way to pass the time than to have sex, right? Well, Teresa didn't want a dog down right now, but she said we could tomorrow. So, I waited outside her window for her to wake up. Me when I'm chowing down on a frickin' wing. Unlike the other challenges, I don't have a weapon, so I just... Unlike other challenges, I don't have a weapon, so I kinda just have to let Reiki die of his wounds as much as I want to kill him. I don't actually have a reason to dislike Reiki. I visited the matchmaker and made some new friends, and together we played Follow the Leader. But it turned out the same way it did in June of 2008 in Aspen, Colorado.
Why are my headphones on the floor?
Well, 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 well.
Well, 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 I'm kicking ass, I'm cracking skulls, and the majority of my efforts are set on looting. I was doing twice as good as I was in my wooden sword challenge, maybe even thrice as good. I did have a close call, and this clinch here was me kind of giving up, but I didn't die immediately after, and realized I don't really want to give up. So bravely, I ran away to recoup. And then stupidly fought this one archer that was giving me trouble earlier, but he was alone, so I confidently took that risk. I found Runt and had a monologue with him, as you do when you're about to fight someone you hate.
Oi, why are you disrespecting me, bro? My mistake, original gangster.
I took a Lazarus, Aqua Vitalis, Glorge Rage, Blux Blood, and Artemisia Potion. I was gonna ride it! And now we get assigned to Mauhayed, which isn't a hard mission at all. I just knock out a few guys. No biggie, we'll just beat a few guys off and steal the captive's note from his chest. It's not... Okay. It was at this point that I realized this challenge could be a lot easier if I just changed some of the controls in-game to fit my mouse controls, but I'm already this far, and you guys don't deserve me basically cheating just to make the game easier. And all it takes of me is a little patience. Which I clearly have a lot of. I took Teresa on a date, I found some treasure, I fought some thugs. I couldn't loot this body for some reason though. Oh my gosh, that's a dead horse! I made a bunch of money, I waited until the next tourney, I won the tourney, and I set out to find all the herbalists and buy all their stock, and then pick all the herbs from their gardens so their businesses would plummet. Now, I don't want to get too personal on here, but I did just sew up some pants that needed sewing, and they work like pants now. Thanks for listening. I checked on Merhoyed to see if they had buried the captive yet, and when I got back on my horse, my vision shot straight up as I took off. And for some reason, this was honestly terrifying. It kind of felt like when you're driving on the interstate, going 80 miles an hour, and you close your eyes for a good 30 seconds or so to see if you crash or not. I found an herbalist that I never knew existed, and better yet, she gave me an exorcism quest that I've never even heard of.
Buddy, it's exorcism. Okay.
Closing on 1,000 hours in this game, and Mother of God! I want to be assaulted. I mean, I know a thing or two about exercising, if you know what I'm talking about. I mean, the best way is for us to get together. Wing.
Well, here goes.
Are you sure you're saying that right?
Shh. I mustn't be interrupted.
This one for them hood girls, them good girls, straight masterpiece. Silent, violent, living it up in the city.
I don't think I've talked about this yet, but not having a wait button fucking sucks, man. I spend so much time fast traveling back and forth between places because Henry just can't sleep. And by the way, yes, I did notice that I totally ran into Black Peter on my way home. In the morning, I threw on my armor, drank all my potions, and went to town on this fool. Okay, well, not so much. More like you might say
It didn't go well.
Similar to Runt in the Wooden Sword run, Peter did not want to die. He wasn't losing any health at all. I threw him in the river, I beat his head against rocks, bro was just not having it. So I took a different inspiration from the Wooden Sword run. I should probably check on Merhoyed now. Oh no. No! No, no, no! Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, so actually I did get what I wanted, but I should have gotten farther in the quest before going off to touch myself for 20 days and 20 nights.
So the next recording was not. And long story short, I genuinely don't know how I finished with Merhoyed and fought Ulrich all within 30 minutes. I can promise you I only used my mouse though. So, I remember taking Ulrich to help me with the fight with Jezek. I remember him sucking f***ing dick with the fellers outside the mine, and I remember him turning his sword on me when I barely flagged him with my bow. And I did remember him betraying me once we got to Jezek, but I only remembered that once it happened. And to top it all off, Ulrich rarely survives to the Jezek fight, so I accidentally skipped all the dialogue. For f***'s sake, die, Ulrich! F***. I was beginning to think you couldn't kill him with your fists.
Thank you, sir.
And now we're onto the monastery, which actually had me a little worried. I might get bored. Before heading to the monastery, I bought a bunch of milk because... you wouldn't understand. Typically, I'll just break in, stealth kill Pius, steal his dice, and leave, but I can't crouch or stealth kill, I gotta do the real monastery mission. And the last time I did the monastery mission, I got trapped inside because I had no idea what to do. But before we worry about that, we gotta get into the monastery. To do that, we need to get Carl's writ, or whatever the fuck it is. So we get his guardian drunk and steal it from him while he's sleeping, and of course it's on his body. Fuck! 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 So we reload and ambush his ass.
Oh, hello, Guardian. Come on in. We're all friends here. I got your bed made in there.
Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
Oops and daisies, auf mein Schlägersport. And we're in. So, the first time I talked with Pius, I agreed to help him escape. Then I realized I really didn't want to do that. Maybe another time, buddy. The second time I talked with Pius, I threatened him and then beat him up, but he didn't have his dice on him. What the flip? He woke up and I beat him down again, still no dice. I thought if you knock someone out 3 times in a short period of time, it kills them, so I waited, folded him, nothing. The third time I talked to Pius, I told him I was going to kill him, and I did, which told the game to give him his dice. But we're not done yet. We still gotta figure out how to get out of here. And this is the part I really dread, because from what I've gathered, I need to get on someone's good side to get lockpicks. Then, I gotta manage to sneak out of the sleeping quarters without crouching, mind you, to get to the main entrance where there are people lurking about, and then I gotta pick the very hard door that I can't even pick, so I gotta manage to steal the keys from the big man, and I can't even steal stuff without them seeing, so I gotta beat him while he's unconscious, but I gotta make sure nobody hears or sees me do that!
And Kenny Johnson just off the green, Peter. He is not distracted, because there is right now a deer sucking off another deer.
When I got captured in Vranik and I was escaping, some feller was hiding away in Eric's room, and so I had to juggle him until I was ready to make a run for the exit.
Brannick itself was... Actually, before that point, I guess I should mention that I made sure Spishak fucking died.
Listen up now. We are about to meet the rabble that have been trying to rape us. And tonight, we are going to fuck little hot corpses. First, we will set fire to the hot man nest, then we'll keep them busy by the gate, and when we've made it nice and hot for them, Sir Rilbard and his men will pounce on them from the rear. Any of these fuckers foolish enough to stick his head in our rear is to lose it at once. Understood? Yes, sir! Glad to hear it. Now, let's do it! Forward!
Brannick was really not fun, because the enemy knew that the only way to win is to team up on one person at a time, but my allies thought it would be best to split up. I wasn't sure if the enemies spawned periodically in waves or according to your progression, so I tried to hang back and take one at a time, which just made it easier for them to kill my archers. Third time's the charm, and I looked at my teammates for wisdom and comfort, and all I got was a hideous, gross, fucking trog fucking freak. I was getting a little fed up and irritated with this fight, so I just tried running through the battlefield, and it worked. You don't have to fight anyone here. I really didn't want to deal with Conrad. Sorry, I'm like, just not in the mood. Yeah. I really didn't want to deal with Conrad Keyser. So I made sure to bring my best argument possible.
What do you want? Enough! Enough! I beg you! So will you come? All right. For the love of God, I'll come.
While I waited for the trebuchet to be finished, I got Pitch, helped the injured in the monastery,
Except Thomas.
got Nicodemus to come to Talmberg, found the Ravna priest, fought Havel's army, tried a witch potion that I've had in my inventory for 15 hours, not worth it, tried walking like that ghost girl from Pokemon X and Y, gathered food for the army, and honestly, that's it. I think I planned on doing more to make the fight easier, but, well, what can I say? I got bored. Quick side note, I learned that this playthrough is kinda toxic as hell. I forgot that when I fight people, I don't kill them, I just knock them out. And that's good enough for me, but not for the AI, and they start camping people, and It's just here, see for yourself.
Killer fish. Hello, killer fish from San Diego.
So I went to talk with Robard, and some guy sitting nearby must have thought that we were, like, a couple or something, and nudged us really close together, which was just weird, and we didn't really know how to deal with it, and so, out of awkwardness, I slapped Robard on his cock, and then he... Siege, baby! Here we are! Unlike our harder core playthrough, this was no cakewalk. The narrow battlements made it hard for me to swing my big fists. Not only was it hard to swing, but it was hard for the AI to realize they had been hit. And of course, like everyone when I do an unarmed run, they're all immaculate at dodging. Go figure, I died, and that sucks and all, but the worst part came when I loaded back in. I was loaded back to before Robard and I had our special moment. And while it may live on in my memory, it'll mean nothing to him. Anywho, back to being awesome. For fuck's sake, can these guys use the fucking shields? They have them for a fucking reason! We lost like 7 people before we even start the fucking fight! Make that 8. I also did try equipping a sword to see if the game would automatically put it in my hand, but it didn't, so whatever. In hindsight, I probably should have done all the optional missions before the fight. We managed to get through the western wall fairly easily, and the southern wall wasn't too much of a problem, but Bernard got locked onto an unconscious body, which I believe was the main problem, because the boys from the guardhouse proved to be too much for our team. They were wiped out almost immediately, and it was just me and Bernard. Seeing how this is going, I mean, I can load back and try to do all of the optional missions before the fight, but this might be where the run ends. I got beat up pretty bad and had to run away to heal, which meant Bernard was definitely dead as hell, but he wasn't. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he wasn't getting his ass handed to him tenfold, but what I am saying is that he wasn't dying. And here's our silver lining. He is a main character, which means he's invincible, which theoretically means he could take them down all on his own without my help. But then again, look at him. They're juggling him. They're pushing him back and forth between themselves like a cute woman they're gonna run a train on. If he can take them on his own, it's gonna take a long time. So what part do I play? Oops, the bait. And the ambusher. And the assassin, but like one that doesn't kill because I can't. And also I'm like kind of a decoy, but I'm not completely useless. It's kind of like if I take the attention of one bandit, I lead him away from the group, and I knock him out. I found that pushing them into a wall repeatedly works great. Then I steal their weapon and armor, so when they wake up, they're easier for Bernard to kill. And, while they're unconscious, it's a little easier for me to go and nab another bandit. And after about 20 minutes of this strat, we got him. Well, only the guys on the battlements, but nevertheless, we got him. Bernard got a little stuck, but that's fine because I can head over to the Bailey, where Capon, another main character, is, and do the same thing for him. Yay! And after another 30 minutes or so, easy win.
It's fun. It's over. You want us to come?
I can safely say that between now and 5 months ago, a change has occurred, and I can be rejoicing over textures. And of course, I don't have music turned on, so the credits aren't as freaking epic and swag and awesome as they normally are.
I have to leave you now.
This scene always makes me cry.
Oh, please. You know I can't stay.
I actually only remembered now that Capon needs to get some pussy before I can be happy. So, I went to Ledetchka for no reason, met some lazy-ass son of a bitch, and lost every dice game. I came really close in the last one, so that sucked, but I don't have a button to score and roll again, so makes sense that I lost, I guess. I threatened the winner for the prize, and went to go buy a new horse, because that's gonna be so useful now. Capon tasked me with sneaking into Carolina's house and planting a bomb. Now, sneaking into someone's house is illegal, and I don't have a button for it anyway, so that's out of the question. Instead, I rushed through her house, planted the secret Myers bomb, and got out as quickly as possible. Okay, I didn't have anything funny planned for that. Leave me alone. I had to wait 1 day before reporting to Capon, and I didn't like that. So to show him who's boss, I waited infinite days. When I did report to him, he asked me to make him a potion, and in return, he gave me a book of love poems. Thanks, Capon. I won the tourney to pass the time. And went to meet up with Capon in the middle of the night. The guards weren't too happy with me not carrying a torch, but I'm sure they'll understand when they realize I'm with Capon.
He's right behind me, isn't he?
I could hear them belittling me, but I just kept walking in hopes that they would turn around and give up and forget about it. Yeah, he's not leaving anytime soon, okay? They began punching me, but I learned that as long as I keep tapping the forward button, they can hit me, but they can't tackle me. And then Capon showed his true colors when he stopped in his tracks and allowed the guards to take me and throw me in jail. And let me tell you, when I got out, I returned back to Capon so that I could help him. Ah! Oh my gosh, that was so fucking... That was real. With one small change, this could have been a run killer for sure. While it's already the popular opinion, I gotta agree, this is one of the best cutscenes and dialogues in the game.
Imagine, the silly cow couldn't even read. She returned the letter to me unopened. Here's the letter, Henry. Read it. At least you're capable of appreciating my literary talent.
Has anyone read this in a low voice with reverb and funny music playing in the background before? Probably not, right? I'll definitely be the first.
My sweetest, I am your most devoted and secret admirer. Secret, for until I know you long for me as I do for you, I shall not make myself known to you. But once we know each other, then, my beloved puppet, I shall caress your tits, and then I shall seek out the treasure you have carried with you since birth, for there is no lovelier creature than you. I only have to think of you, and I raise a battle tent, the likes of which even Sigismund would envy. You must be mine, and none others. I shall take you to paradise and back. You shall meet all the angels in heaven and call out to God more loudly than ever before. If you want to feel like no woman has ever felt before, put on this necklace tomorrow, and I shall know that I should come to you in the night and slip inside your secret garden. your most ardent secret admirer.
Was that good? Did I do good on that one?
Butcher, 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 balls!
I have one thing left to do before we beat the game, but I gotta go to work first. Okay, where were we? Oh yeah.
Oh.
How about it, Henry? Can we go? Are you ready for this?
Of course. At last I'll get to see more of the country and have a bit of an outing.
What? 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 Wait, holy shit, wait, are you kidding me? What? Oh my gosh, no, I totally was doing that the whole time, bro. I had no idea. Fuck yes, dude. That's awesome. That's just awesome. That's so cool.
I have a feeling you'll get your chance one day, and it won't be long in coming. Forward, men! Audentes fortuna juvat!
Boy! And there we are. We finally actually completed one. I want to say it wasn't that bad, but in truth, it also wasn't that good, and I'm probably just forgetting what it's like to have my other hand on a keyboard. Still fun, still awesome, and at last I got to do Capon's ending quest, which was so worth it. I definitely miss having the insight I did during my harder core playthrough where I was recording my voice while playing. I think I'll do that again next time. As I've said before, if you have any ideas for a challenge run, whether they're good or bad, whether you're memeing or not, just put it in the comments. I see all of them. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you exhaled through your nose even a tiny bit. And if I never see you again, take care of yourself. Have a good one.